Hello, good viewers. Today, I will be recounting the events that forever changed a small town in West Virginia. Our story begins with two young couples who had gone out to the outskirts of town for a quiet evening together. Roger and Linda Scarberry, along with Steve and Mary Millette, had gone for a little drive late at night, thinking that they could find some privacy among the densely wooded areas at the outskirts of town. What they didn't know is that the harrowing events that were to follow would haunt them for the rest of their lives. All was well as they sat in the dark until it wasn't. A creature that Linda Scarberry later described as a slender, muscular man about 7 feet tall with white wings suddenly appeared. She would later recount that she was unable to discern its face due to the hypnotic effect of its eyes. Distressed, the two couples sped away in their cars, reporting that the creature actually flew after them, making a screeching sound. It pursued them as far as the Point Pleasant city limits. The couples reported the incident to police, and Roger Scarberry even provided a sketch of the alleged creature that was spotted in the dark. Over the next few days, more people began to report similar sightings after the local newspapers began covering the incident. Two volunteer firemen who saw it described it as a large bird with red eyes. Mason County Sheriff George Johnson believed these sightings to be nothing more than an unusually large green heron. Another man, a contractor named Newell Partridge, told Sheriff Johnson that when he aimed a flashlight at the creature in a nearby field, its eyes glowed like bicycle reflectors. Additionally, he blamed buzzing noises from his television set and even the disappearance of his beloved German Shepherd, Bandit, on the creature. Wildlife biologist Robert L. Smith at West Virginia University told reporters that descriptions and sightings fit the sandhill crane, a large American crane almost as tall as a man, with a 7-foot wingspan and reddish coloring around its eyes. He claimed the bird may have wandered out of its migration route and therefore was unrecognized at first because it was not native to this region. However, local newspapers had a different story to tell. They coined the name the Mothman, in part due to the popularity of the Batman TV series at the time, starring Adam West. The TV series was a regular fixture in the late 1960s. His rogues gallery were featured prominently in the public eye, and while the villain Killer Moth did not appear in the show, the comic book influence of both him and Batman is believed by some to have influenced the coinage of the name Mothman in the local newspapers. In any case, the unexplained appearance of this so-called Mothman and the shadow it cast over this small West Virginia community was far from over. Nearly a year after the first appearance of the Mothman, tragedy would strike this small community. The Silver Bridge was an I-bar chain suspension bridge built in 1928 that carried U.S. Route 35 over the Ohio River. The bridge connected Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and Gallipolis, Ohio. Officially named the Point Pleasant Bridge, It was popularly known as the Silver Bridge for the color of its aluminum paint. On the evening of December 15th, 1967, amid heavy rush hour traffic, the unthinkable happened. The Silver Bridge collapsed. This event resulted in the deaths of 46 people, 2 of whom were never found. Investigation of the wreckage soon pointed to the failure of a single eye-bar in one of the suspension chains as the primary cause. The investigation into what led to the failure took some 3 years to complete. The findings noted that a single eye-bar had failed, a failure triggered by a flaw just 0.1 inches deep, which led to a fracture, thus resulting in the disaster that claimed so many lives. It seemed the Silver Bridge had been doomed from the start. Many believed that the appearance of the Mothman had been a warning. Was this creature just an otherworldly specter, misunderstood, trying to warn about the impending disaster? Or was he the cause of it? The answers we may never know. Regardless, a memorial now sits at the site of the catastrophe, honoring the lives of those 46 lost in the disaster. Today, a new bridge has taken up the mantle of its doomed predecessor. The Silver Memorial Bridge was constructed in its place in 1969. Much has changed since that fateful day. It's hard to overstate the influence that the Mothman has had on the small community. Sculptor and artist Bob Roach created a 12-foot-tall metallic statue of the creature. It was unveiled in 2003. Additionally, the Mothman Museum and Research Center opened in 2006. The Mothman has become a big source of tourism for Point Pleasant. The town held its first annual Mothman Festival in 2002 due to his uniqueness and as a way to celebrate his local legacy in the town. The Mothman's legend has spread far beyond the limits of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and is now known as a popular fixture in pop culture. He's inspired countless works of art over the years, including books and even movies. One notable one being The Mothman Prophecies, based off the book by John A. Keel. The movie stars Richard Gere and Laura Linney. From A-list actors to merchandise, plushies, clothes, and toys, there's no denying how far and wide the influence of the infamous Mothman has spread. In the years and decades following his first appearance, there have been countless sightings all over the United States and even overseas. After all this time, the question still remains: who is the Mothman really? Is he a silent guardian, seeking only to warn of impending disaster? Or is he a harbinger of doom? The answer, dear viewer, I leave to you.